Hello everybody, welcome to the new part of the Kingdom of Cimmeria campaign using the Divide et Impera mod. Last episode, if I remember correctly, we captured Dura and Hatra. I was kind of conflicted about whether or not I wanted to take Edessa or go south to Seleucia. In the end, I think I actually took a turn, two turns after the last video, to just finish some things up and get things ready for the next episode, for this episode. For example, my army is now actually besieging Palmyra, and I believe it's only one turn away from actually attacking the settlement. Meanwhile, over here, this army is only about a turn away before I move into Edessa. I ran out of movement, so I just went to patrol stance. Over here, we're not attacking over in Ekbatana right now, mainly because of the fact that they have a garrison plus an army, so I'm a little hesitant in moving my army against them. At least immediately. I'm kind of tempted to besiege Ekbatana and then just starve them out. It would be a bit of a slower situation, but I think before I try to do that though, I want another army here putting pressure on them elsewhere. That way they don't just send another army up there and suddenly I'm facing a 3v1. That's a little bit of that would be a bit awkward, I'd say. Looks like I need to convert this one. Is this not a hoplite barracks? Well, that's weird. This is new. What? That's weird. There must have been an event going on. What? So for some now, apparently, hoplite barracks are no longer is no longer available to my faction. Now it's a Hellenic military colony. This is weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm very much intrigued. Our culture is Hellenic. Capitals of Tushpa. We own 4 provinces. We have a lot of faction manpower. I don't fully understand what's wrong, why suddenly this is different. But I do know one thing that's a major problem, and that is the fact that that we now have to have. Okay, this is weird, but I wonder if there's I wonder why. It's gonna cost me a lot of food now. That's honestly one of the big problems. And now there's no longer something removing banditry, it's not adding banditry. I guess I'm gonna start this in Fraspa and kind of just see what it looks like. Or maybe I should do it in Tushpa. Tushpa already has like a superior. Let's do it in Tushpa. But I can safely say this is awfully strange. So if we build this one, allow us to get a Skithaway whatchamajiggy. Honestly, that's not a bad unit. I say that because it's a nice AP unit. While the other one, of course, it allows us to get other units, gives us our elite units, and apparently we get these guys. This is we must have hit a milestone. I forget what they call a military reform. I don't quite know how to tell when it's happened though. Interesting. Okay, that's the first time I've ever encountered that before, and it's very intriguing. Well, you guys saw it first here. Apparently, we're going to have to do a bit of a change in how some of our buildings are structured. This also means that I want, and whatever's going to be my main military hub, I want a second one of these buildings. But the problem is it's going to cost 10 food per military thing, which means I don't want this in every settlement, which means I'm probably going to demolish this in more peaceful regions and build it in more like other areas where I plan to build more of an army. And we're going to have to like kind of make provinces a little bit more organized. Alright, well, let's end turn for now. But that's kind of interesting. I've never had that happen before. I'm wondering, like, the two possibilities come to mind for me. One, that that we hit like, one of those, like, reforms. I completely missed the event while I was just doing a little couple things off video, just to make sure things are a little bit more set for this episode. Or there's an update to the mod and somehow it's changed my current campaign. Those are the only two ideas that come to mind. But very interesting. I'm gonna see if maybe I have to change my whole army setup. We'll find out. But Burning stopped working. The reason why I decided to send my army up to Dessa instead of going southeast, besides the fact that Dessa is going to probably be an easy conquest, the main reason why I decided to take Dessa is that I wanted to make sure nothing near Tushbuk can potentially spawn a Seleucid army. I wanted to make sure that that soon-to-be undefended section of my empire is not left open to that possibility. So wiping out Seleucids will both help secure a province, but also make it so I don't have to worry about it in the future. Let's see. Oh, this end turn, man. Alright, well, about to be done, though. Alright, let's see. What's going on here? Oh, what the? My game just... For a second, I thought the game crashed. I was super worried about that because it suddenly, like, just alt-tabbed on me. I was like, oh, no. It looks like I don't need to change my current armies. It looks like it doesn't affect them. So whatever change this does, it's for the future and not right now. I'm just going to currently just encircle. I'm not going to immediately attack quite yet. I want to actually do the battle for Palmyra first. Let's see, is this army increasing at all? No, they're still staying at the 14 difference. I don't want to immediately convert all of these buildings over to... I don't want to immediately convert all of these buildings over to the new military style, because that's going to be a lot of food lost if I did that. Which means I also need more food production buildings as well. Alright, so let's attack Palmyra. So we have 4 siege towers, 2 ladders, and 1 battering ram. The enemy defenders are actually already a bit beleaguered due to penalty attrition. We got a little bit of attrition, but actually not very much. Our elephants actually got the most attrition, which is kind of funny. Palmyra looks like it's a big city, though, which means it's going to be a potentially interesting siege. I'm surprised. Those archers are a gold, but like these are not even gold. I wonder if Palmyra's been attacked a lot. That's why that they have so much experience for a garrison, or if that's just difficulty. We'll find out. So let's see. We definitely want our Galatians to take the lead on the walls. One thing that's nice about the siege towers is that the hoplites can't form a phalanx up there, which means that they do lose one of their primary advantages. If I was to plan a breakthrough gate, just taking one of these sections right there actually would be very ideal. But because I want to also make sure I break through, I want to make sure I take a wall where I think it's going to be the easiest. Honestly, this one looks like the easiest wall to take over because there's no towers here. Let's see, but can I actually park my guys over here? Yes, I can. Okay. I actually want you to drop that, you to drop that, and basically just swap them because I think the levies would be the better one on the ground, while the Galatians would be better at being able to take the walls, I feel, in terms of just raw damage output. And of course, we also want our Threo spears to be able to join us. I think 3 of them should be able to go on that wall at least, and hopefully these 2 should be able to go on this wall. I could very easily be wrong on that one and suddenly just have a bunch of guys just sitting there and having nothing to do, but I'm a hopeful person. So hopefully that's not the case. Let's see, and of course baggage train just gonna do baggage train things and just wait there for the battle and maybe stop a cav charge if we're lucky. Alright, looks like they can stand next to each other, which is good. We'll break down that gate. It does look like they have some fixed artillery here. And it is focus firing on the Threo spearsmen, potentially. Let's see. Sea-Shard itself doesn't seem to be really taking any damage, so I'm not too worried about it. Do we actually have anything on the siege towers right now to maybe do some damage? One of the things that's like pretty kind of crazy about Rome 1 is how they have like ballistas up top of siege towers. And boy, do those do a lot of damage to people defending on the walls. It looks like they only have all archers up here, which means that taking the walls themselves should be pretty easy. Oh, there's also this other artillery firing. Looks like both of them might be focusing on this one siege tower here. That's at least what I'm thinking. Because this one's been, so it's hard to tell. Can I see what it's firing at? I think it is maybe firing at that. Because interesting. Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on the situation. Oh, this one looks like they might... This one, get off. Drop it now. Run, men, run. Gonna have to hopefully avoid losing any men to that thing getting burned to the ground. Most of the men are out right now. Let's see, this one is slowly making progress, but it looks like it's not going to make it, so we're going to start dropping that and running them over here instead. This one looks like it's pretty dang close to getting beaten up too. The battering ram and one siege tower is untouched, however, and this other one is taking minimal damage, so I think we can make it. But yeah, I think these guys look like they didn't take any damage to that, so I'm glad that I was able to get them there freely. Let's see, only 51 damage. I think that means it will make it to the wall safely. I mean, they might still destroy it afterwards, but usually if they make it to the wall, it doesn't take as much damage. I think mostly due to the way that there's just less reason to... it's not quite as much in the way, is my only guess of why that usually happens. I think I'm not sure if I lost any Threo spears. It's kind of hard to tell because they're being fired at. So it's like, well, this could be all of the bunch of arrow fire coming at your face, or it is due to some other reason. I have to keep an eye on that one. I'm a little bit worried about. I'm gonna start moving these guys up to just deal with them. What a fortunate thing is that this does mean that, let's see, they're keeping the door open, which means my levies aren't exactly able to do anything really. Don't fire yet, my dudes. Can you come up on the walls, actually? That'd be very much appreciated. We should be able to secure the walls with this. And once we secure the walls, we can bring up our archers and use them as support. So I'm gonna actually start moving up my archer lines with that, keeping that with that in mind. Question is, where do they think they're trying to go? I want them to try and go up the ladder, but something tells me they're not trying to go up the ladder like I'm hoping they would. Oh, it looks like these guys are just trying to go up the ladder. Not for some reason, not my siege towers. That I think is kind of weird, but you know what am I gonna say about that? Yeah, these guys are getting beaten up, and unfortunately, they're not really doing much purpose except just keeping the enemy's attention there. I mean, it's a nice thing for them to do. It's unfortunate they're just taking a bunch of damage for no reason, though, because of it. Alright, looks like they've given up this section here. I think we should take this as an opportunity to secure the lower level, if possible. That way I can start getting my archers up on the walls. Oh no, they're not doing what I want them to do. That's a problem. Why are you? No, 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 no. That's not what I want you to do, and you know it, game. There's enemies right there trying to fight you. There's right there, people. Pathfinding is being a bit of a pain in the ass right now, but on the bright side, we secure the walls, or at least we should have secured the walls. Perfect. The enemy have come up here, which means we can start focusing them down. Moving my swordsman over here to help a little bit, just in case they need it. Alright, so our spearmen over here are being blocked off. We can't actually order my men. Even though we've neutralized the gate, we still can't order our elephants or our cav into the city. So I'm going to try to see if I can order these guys into the city. Hopefully they don't have too much boiling oil. Okay, for some reason they're acting like there's something in the way. But the gate's wide open. I don't quite get what they're doing, but they're doing it. So do you need to break down the gate? Like, if you don't need to break down the gate, then we can just get you out of the way. I don't get what the glitch is here. Honestly, siege battles are a little bit glitchy for some as we've seen in the past. That's one of that's one of the main reasons. Oh, finally, the gate's actually closed, which means we can actually break down the gate. For the longest time, we couldn't actually attack the gate for some reason, so now we can, and I'm quite happy. Let's see that ladder. 66% left to go. I think these are the last melee troops I have left on the ground that aren't cav/elephants. Alright, let's see. Over here, I would say that I would like to believe we're doing more damage to them than they are to us, but it's kind of hard to tell. Archers do not fire right now. You're a bit more of a nuisance than a help right now. Alright, did the gate just break open, or did they just open the gate? Oh, the gate is open, which means time for my elephants to start wreaking havoc. Alright, now let's get that ram out of the way. I'm trying to get them to... Oh, I guess they've just dropped the ram. Well, hopefully that doesn't actually block the way. Alright, we've broken the gate. We've neutralized the top part. We're fighting up on the walls and down below. Our men are holding on pretty strong. They all seem to still be eager. Our elephants have been engaged, along with one unit of spears to support them for now. Once I see the opportunity, I want to also start engaging in my cav force. But right now, we're just going to have to trust in our war elephants to try and punch a hole in the enemy for now. Honestly, I'm actually going to order them to try and charge through the enemy lines and then re-engage them if possible. Maybe reason being is trying to break the enemy formation. Might actually be easier if the elephants try to disrupt themselves slightly. Perfect, see? Formation breached on that one. Exactly what I was hoping for there. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like one of the enemies either pulled back or broke, which means that we're slowly winning on this flank. Where are these guys going? They're just pushing right through me. Are they pulling using my own strategy against me? That's just cheating. Now my Galatian levies are doing a really good job here of assisting our elephants. I wish there was a little bit more leeway, but so I can actually provide some real assistance to my elephants. Right now they're kind of having to do a lot of work on their own, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. These guys are about to break due to casualties sustained, the weaklings. But our own elephants are about to break. We're asking a lot of them right now. Even though they haven't taken a lot of overall health damage, they're considering themselves to have taken a lot of casualties. Bit awkward, but nothing I can really do about it. They're doing a really good job. No, oops, you down there. Once we break for this flank, we'll be good over here. I think we broke. I think we broke the enemy general. At least I thought I saw him here, like someone that looked like a general, but that could have easily been somebody else. I thought was a general. Where are you guys going? This enemy's right there. Come on, people. You should know how this works already. But yeah, this entire front here is about to break. I'm gonna try and rally the troops here if I can. I'm gonna engage my cav here now. The elephants did a really good job of keeping trying to create a choke point for myself, but I unfortunately were not able to do that. Oh, I completely forgot about you guys. I believe in you. Yeah, we're pushing through now. The enemies are beginning to waver. Our elephant's shattered, but honestly, so long as they're not completely wiped out, we're good to go, I think. We've completely won this flank now, which means the gate is ours. Sitting in our Galatian swordsmen to keep up the fight over here, trying to break what remains of the enemy. And conveniently, we still have one fresh unit over here, and we're going to get a flanking charge onto what remains of the enemies at the gate. Perfect. We now own the gates, and looks like the remaining enemies are about to break due to army losses. which basically means victory. We've conquered Palmyra, losing less than 400 troops, though we did lose a respectable amount of our elephants, unfortunately. Our Galatian swordsmen did a really good job on the walls, got lots of kills. Honestly, that's one of the nice things about this army, is that while it's not quite as firm and it's able to hold a position as my other armies, it's a lot more flexible. And using those like elephants as is kind of like the more mobile anchors of the army, while the others are supposed to do more DPS. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting to have a different army like the other armies may have their like firm pike and spear lines and their flanking forces. This army's like, we're all a flanking force, bucko. The only ones that's not kind of a flanking force is the Galatian levies, but I kind of got them here because they can be like a flanking screening force against enemy cav, or they can be the ones who hold the line. And that's what I used one of them for, is just, kind of be there at the gate, try and support a little bit of the elephants. And they got 94 kills for their trouble. They're not a particularly offensive or strong unit, but they still got a respectable amount of kills. You have to respect them for that. Alright, let's occupy this one, giving us the whole territory here. Let's see, we've captured Palmyra, so I need to destroy anything that's taking food from me, and I need to instead put in its place food production. Because that's something we desperately need. I want to definitely build some farming buildings wherever I can at this point. But I think it's nice that by taking this one, let's see, what is our treaty situation with Egypt? I want to make sure they stay my friends, but if they go to war with me and I'm distracted, I might have some issues. So they do like me. Yeah, they like me. They like me quite a lot. The only thing they don't like is that I have treaties with Macedon and Rome. But they love me for slopping around the Seleucids. So that's a trade-off. Dang hiccups are everywhere, man. Dang hiccups. On the bright side, it shouldn't take too long before Palmyra goes a little bit more friendly. I'm actually going to do what I'm plop over here and just enter. It's going to make it so my army's a little bit slower replenishing, but it should help with the public order problems that I'm definitely going to have. And on that note, we need to build maximum food production here. I'm turning this area into a food production mecca. And also keep in mind, I'm demolishing that building and replacing it with a shrine to somebody that gives me farming bonuses. Because we need that now. So this army here, honestly, I consider this army my weakest army. Because just the way it's kind of a bit of a mess. It doesn't have any, it has swordsmen who are kind of able to hold the line pretty well. But I have no armor-piercing flankers. The Galatian swordsmen, not the Galatian swordsmen, not the Georgian swordsmen, I believe, have no armor piercing, which they have high melee attack stat. They don't have any armor piercing, which means, well, that means they won't be able to really take on, like, they won't chew through a hoplite, but they will be, they're still a decent flanking force, they're just not as ideal. The thorax swordsmen are more ideal for holding a line, though. Even though they don't have as good melee attack, they make up for that by having a respectable melee defense, so they can. So basically, the Galatian swords, the Georgian swordsmen are my medium infantry are my flankers in this army, even if they're not quite as good as my axemen. Naturally, in this army, we have our hoplite line that's going to be our bread and butter. Basically being like, you charge me and I'm going to be just fine. Or I'm going to push this wall into your face and you're going to have to deal with it. That's kind of basically what these hoplites are for. Let's see, these elite ones, no, it looks, man, these guys look nice. They're fancy. They're blue. They have the blue capes. I like blue. I like their capes because they're blue. All around, I like them. Basically, I like them. That's basically the moral of the story, kids. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to extend the lines with our thorax swordsmen to the either side of our hoplites. And then what we're going to try doing is I want these guys slightly to the back behind the enemy. Slightly back behind the main line. Then I'm going to have these guys also be slightly for the back, but a little bit flanked outwards because I want them to be the ones who I want to try and make sure any enemy cav is dealt with by these guys. Of course, we have our own cav here. These are not the higher tier cav that I've begun replacing in my armies. These are the lower tier cav. But they have done the job quite respectably, I would say, so far. I've accidentally grabbed all four of them into one group. Alright. And of course, we have our lovely baggage train assigned to basically kind of meat shield body block for our archer line. Because I think that's just the best use for them. I like how we can see the enemy and then we start the battle and suddenly we can't see them anymore. I'm like, oh, gee, where could they be if I didn't just see them a second ago? It does look like the enemy might be moving forward a little bit. So if that's the case, we'll have to keep an eye out. We're actually going to get the ridge, the slight ridge here if they do attack us. Though there's a ridge right here, so they might be able to, like I might be able to, considering basically using this as a nice little terrain advantage for me. But I don't think the AI is going to do that, so we don't need to worry about it. I feel like this spear on this flank is actually a little bit further back than I intended it to be. So I'm gonna fix that there. There we go. I like that a little bit more. Oops, don't run. Walk, don't run. Oops, there we go. Oh, don't run, don't run. That's gonna just needlessly tire yourselves out. I just said walk, don't run, and what you do, you run. Alright, the enemy suddenly charges forward, so while my hoplites are still getting to position, our thorax swordsman actually got a nice rear charge into the back of our thorax swordsman. Maybe not the back, actually. It might be the front, because all things considered. But they got a nice attack into them that I wasn't expecting. It looks like I don't have to worry about necessarily about the enemy cav, so I'm going to start adjusting my swordsman positions to kind of just make them a bit more threatening to the enemy. Oop. Going for a little bit more of an encirclement kind of posturing. Especially because it looks like the enemy cav has been mostly neutralized, not entirely neutralized. I thought they had 2 cav, but I guess they only have 1 in a garrison. I thought it was 2, but you know, the more you learn, the more you learn. They're throwing a lot of guys at my elite infantry unit here. I don't really think it'll work out well for them, but you know, I'm not the expert here, right? I'm not the expertly designed AI. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna just engage with my thorax swordsman here against that citizen militia, and then I'm gonna flank around nicely here with my Georgians. What's going on over here? It looks like they're trying to engage here. I am going to try and mess them up slightly if I can. These guys do not chase for some reason, even though... Oh, well, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Okay. We have a nice flank here against this nice big ball of enemies. We got some beautiful jab shots there. There actually is going to get a nice flanking charge against my spearmen, but they're about to get rear charged in their own flanking charge. So I think I won this little exchange here. Yeah, over here, these guys are going to start breaking anytime now, and all of their archers have been defeated, and now we're starting to flank into the enemy hoplite formation. This, for some reason, is not actually even facing anybody, and these guys weren't even touched, so the enemy might be slightly touched in the head. Who knows? So 1 unit left of the enemy spearmen. These guys took about a decent amount of losses in terms of men, but they also were facing like 3 enemy groups. So actually no, these are my elite guys. These are just one of my normal dudes. They did a good job. I guess I'll finish off the encirclement here. You know, over here I'm going to get these guys out of the melee and have them just recycle charge back into the fight. For some reason, my Thoric swordsmen are properly facing their enemy there. They're not a phalanx wall, so I don't know why they acted like they were a phalanx wall. All confused about what they're supposed to be doing and all that. Alright, let's just finish breaking these dudes now. A nice rear charge. Get a nice amount of kills there. The melee kills don't really matter too much in this current situation, mostly due to the simple fact that once we win the battle, the enemy loses everything. I'm going to order my slingers to stop firing. So at this point, they're going to fire more into my own men into the rather than the enemy. So there we go. 311 men lost, and they only killed 300, which means we killed 11 our own men. So what did I say? Our Thorax swordsman got a nice amount of kills, and our 3L spears. Our Jordan swordsman actually didn't get a lot of kills there. I'm kind of surprised. And our slingers, of course, did a respectable amount of damage, but their main purpose is mostly to soften up the enemy rather than anything else. Our Cav did a great job clearing out the enemy archers and doing some nice flanking charges. The elite infantry got a lot of kills, so like though the one of our normal hoplites got the most. That probably is one that like I might have been flanking, because one of them wasn't it wasn't at all engaged. So it's either a full health one with only 11 kills, or it's the 162 kills. One of those two is the one that wasn't really touched. You know how to win victory, Hannibal. You do not know how to use it. Marhabar Bal, Carthaginian cavalry commander. I mean, that's kind of the famous thing, and he won many battles, but unfortunately for Hannibal, he lost the war. Now that Edessa is ours, we own the majority of this province. And we get the granary and this field engineer's workshop. I'm tempted to just demolish this and build something else in its place, though. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, I do like having this, but the thing is, I don't think I'm going to make this into a big military thing. I think I'm just going to make this into mostly farming. I still am trying to decide where's going to be one of my military hubs, so we'll kind of see. Like, honestly, Tushpa, I think kind of is one that would be ideal to try and make money out of, but we need to build that up a bit more. Alright, so with this conquered, we can just start moving this army out and over. And start moving them southeast towards Saluki. Of course, they do need to replenish, but that's something we're working on. Let's begin the end turn sequence. Let me see what time it is real fast. I have to reach down there to see what time it is. It's a little bit. It would be a little bit early of an end to the episode today, but it's a bit late. I had a bit of a late start recording this video. As I didn't have the time to record every video I was planning on doing this weekend, but it's not the end of the world. And it's a bit late tonight, so I need to record the video, take a shower, upload this video for tomorrow, and all that jazz. So after this entrance sequence, I'm going to end the episode here. So if you guys liked the video, press the like button down below, or rumble if you're on Rumble. Sorry if I'm not the most energized today. It's just the end of the day kind of a thing. But I had fun. I enjoyed wiping the floor with those two garrison armies. And I look forward to swelling up more of Salute Kits. I think, honestly, we may have come to the end of anything that the real resistance that Seleucids are able to put forth to us. They do have a lot of agents in our territory now, so they might actually just start agent spamming us. I know that's been reported as a problem in the past. I don't know how well if Divine Emperor deals with that. I did just see a champion just try to assassinate somebody, and he may have just succeeded. If he did, that'd be a bit awkward. So I think, unless the Seleucids have like a secret army up their sleeve, I think the Seleucids are going to be dead in a few episodes, as we slowly just gobble up their territory, converting it into our own mighty army. Once we were were just the kingdom of the Bosphorus, or otherwise known as Cimmeria. But now we are the mighty Cimmerian Empire, taking over the Middle East. I think right now, assuming Egypt and Pergamon do not go to war with us, I think our next objective is going to be to actually less dealing with, let's see, what happened here? Forsaken by their masters, so the Seleucids no longer have a satrapy there. Aria is a new faction. I thought that's a faction I've heard before. The Mamluk Nabata have been destroyed. Yeah, there was an assassination attempt, but he failed. We do got some unseasonable weather, which is unfortunate, but nothing we can do about that. I am going to instruct the aqueduct for better sanitation and stuff like that. Well, I do like money. I don't really think it's all that important right now. Wait, what's going on here? I'm just gonna demolish this. Demolish that. Rebuild other stuff in its place. So here, I decided that I wanted to build a temple, consecrated ground, and get the Silk Road. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. To get some of that sweet, sweet trade money, or just resources at the very least. Become extremely wealthy. I wonder how Rome is doing. This is kind of one of these moments where I wish I could see everything, because I'm curious to see how Rome is doing. And as far as I can tell, they're not doing very well in Greece. They don't seem to be advancing at all in that direction. But from trade, I can see that they still own Rome. And they own this territory. They haven't really expanded over here, so they might... Let's see, who are they at war with? Let's see, Rome is at war with a lot of people, but they're not really making any gains. I apparently am... Apparently they made these guys their client state somewhere up here. But yeah, they're at war with a lot of people. I must be one of, like, their only friends. It helps that we're very far away from each other, so... Oh, there's some nice historical facts there. Anyways, I got distracted. I'm going to end the episode here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.